What's up, guys? Welcome back to the motorcycle shed. So we're going to take the bobber out, and first thing we're going to do is I'm going to back it out here, and I think I'm going to kind of like introduce the bike to you. I think it's got a pretty cool story, and we're going to let that minivan go by. I think it's got a pretty cool story, and I would really like to share it with you. We're going to take it for a ride, and I want to take my camera gear and stuff, but I didn't really want to wear a book bag. I remembered that I had this Nelson rig bag, and I don't even know why. Really, I don't even know that I've ever used this thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I had this Nelson rig bag, and I've totally got it rigged on here. Much like other things on this bike, it's just kind of rigged, but it's on there, and the camera definitely fits in there. But after all the aggravation of putting it on there, I was like, I should have just wore a book bag. So anyway, and I also have an open face helmet, or a 3/4 helmet. That's a Bell Custom 500. I really like to wear it, especially on shorter rides, you know, get a little bit more wind on the face. So I put a GoPro mount on it. We're going to see how that angle kind of works. Kind of a busy road. Should probably figure out a better place to do these intro videos, but I don't know, the motorcycle shed just seems so fitting, but the road noise, whatever. So let's do it. Let's get the bike out. I'm gonna put it over here in the yard, and we'll talk about it a little bit. I'm just gonna share this with you.
Alright, what up, guys? So the whole back it out of the shed and talk about it in the front yard did not work out. The audio sucked, and a lot of the audio sucks on my videos so far. So I stopped being a cheap ass and bought a mic. I mean, not that I'm really being a cheap ass. I feel like I'm spending way too much money on this camera gear. Especially, you know, I got 2 kids, a baby on the way, whatever. Here we are. The wind, though, when I was trying to talk about the bike, the wind, it was just terrible. And then in all the other videos, so I uploaded videos while I'm still working on some, you know, and the feedback I was getting, you know, people are like, hey, the audio is terrible, can't hear what you're saying. And I was like, alright, I'm gonna have to buy a mic. And kind of the style of video that I wanted to do, I don't know that it really, I don't know that I really saw myself talking in my helmet. I know a lot of vloggers do that, and I didn't see myself doing that initially, but here we are, especially now that I got the mic. But this is the first time I've used it. I just got it in the mail, so we'll see if it works. So yeah, it's actually probably been about a week since I filmed the other shit that's going to be in this video for the bike, the bobber. The audio sucked, and I was like, I'm gonna have to buy a mic, and I had to wait for it to get here, and then just whatever, life, you know. Plus I was watching what I'd recorded, and not only did the audio suck because of the wind and the cars on the road, and you just couldn't hear me, and I was like, man, Jesus, you're way too long-winded. Like, yeah, blah blah blah, we get it, you love your motorcycle. I love it. Not everybody else is gonna love it that much. So it was just too long. So here's the nitty gritty, right? It's a 97 Honda Shadow. It's a VT 1100. Started its life out as an Ace American Classic Edition. The irony of a Japanese bike being called an American Classic, whatever. My old man bought it brand new in 97, and he really didn't ride it much. You can see 22,422. We just rolled over miles. That's not a lot. Anyway, he didn't really ride it much, I guess. I mean, he enjoyed it, and I remember growing up watching him ride it. That's how I fell in love with riding, because Dad was riding. My parents' house, it sets up on this hill, way up on this hill, and you can see the main road down there below, and you know, sound travels, it carries up that hill. And I can remember watching Dad leave on his bike. This bike, it looked a lot different back then, but he was leaving on this bike, and he would putter down the driveway. It's a gravel driveway. He'd putter down, and I can remember listening listening and watching him go down the road, you know, for as far as I could. And that's, yeah, so when I got a little bit older, he would take me on rides with him on this bike, and I fell in love. I had little four-wheelers I rode around, and I've always been riding either with him or on a four-wheeler or whatever. So then when I was 17, 18 years old, I hounded the shit out of him until he agreed to let me ride it, and he would take me to a parking lot. Dang, that's where I should have rode. I should have went to that parking lot. That would have been perfect. I'm nowhere near that though, and I'm not turning around now. There's too much crap going on in town anyway today. So he took me to an empty parking lot, and I already had the basics down, you know, with the throttle and clutch with the hand and the gears from the four-wheeler. So just whatever, just take off. And I did some figure eights in the parking lot there for a while. We did that a couple of times. What's up, bro? We'd ride, he would ride it out there for me, you know. And then I remember one day, gosh, it's like we only did that like twice maybe, and he was like, you want to ride it back? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to ride it back. So I rode on the road, and then I got my permit, and then I got my motorcycle endorsement, and I rode the heck out of this thing for like a summer. There's even a couple of times, it was really early spring, there's a couple of times I rode it to school. You know, I thought I was real hot shit. Rode it to high school. I really wasn't. I was a goober. Such a goober back then. Well, I mean, heck, I am now, but now I just embrace it. Man, didn't I think I was cool. Hey, what's up, bro? Damn, dude, those things are sick. Those are some cool-ass bikes. Anyway. I think I knew those guys. Kind of, not know them, but I know who they are. Anyway. Man, I get way too sidetracked. This is why I shouldn't be talking with the mic in the helmet, because I get way too sidetracked. We're never going to get to the end of the story. Whatever, I left for college. Didn't take the bike with me. And sucked at college. Joined the Navy. And so several years go by, and I'm not even riding this thing. I go on deployment in 2011 to 2012. I'm on deployment. I get home from deployment, and I'm just talking mad crap about how I'm going to buy myself a motorcycle, and Dad just shows up in Virginia Beach with this motorcycle on a trailer, and he's like, here you go, don't buy one, you just have this one. Okay. So I ride the holy bejeebies out of it. Man, nice. Ride the holy bejeebies out of this thing while I'm stationed in Norfolk, Virginia Beach area, until my boy Josh, rest in peace, brother. Josh, man, he had never been on a motorcycle, but he wanted to get a bike. I helped him. I didn't really help him buy it. He bought it him dang self, but I went with him. He had never been on one, so I test rode it, and I'm like, yeah, man, it runs, shifts gears, the brakes are good, whatever. Tires are decent, buy it. So he buys it. I do like my dad did for me. I take him to an empty parking lot. Down for one, up for the rest. He takes off. I mean, it's not rocket science. He gets the hang of it pretty quick. We start riding together. And I'll be damned if he didn't get killed on that thing. Shook my world up big time. He was a really good friend to me. I loved the hell out of that guy. And I felt really responsible for a long time. It took me a really long time to get over the fact that I was not responsible for his death. I don't even know that I'm still completely over it. So we trailered the motorcycle back home to Sparta, North Carolina. And I parked it in Mom and Dad's garage for a really long time. Like I say, man, that really shook me up hard. And then big shout out to my boy Jonathan, really good friend, also a veteran. We're both back home from the service, and I run into him one day out in town, and whatever, we picked up like we ain't never been apart. And we start hanging out, and he buys a Super Glide, an 80s model with an Evo motor. It was pretty sick. And he's like, man, you still got that old bike you used to ride? And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, she's old and neglected and needs some love, and I don't know if I want to ride. And he talked me into getting on that stupid Super Glide. I rode that thing down the road I wasn't on that thing for 1 second. I didn't even make it out of first gear, and I was like, woo! I'm back in the game! Man, I've been missing this. So I tell him, I'm like, dude, I want to ride, but my bike needs a lot of love. The gas tank's leaking, the carbs are trash, it needs tires. And I'm like, you know, when that was Dad's bike, and it's old manish, and it never really felt like mine. I want it to feel like mine. I've always loved bobbers. Let's make it a bobber. So we get it. we do some crap to the gas tank to try to stop the leak. That's a whole nother story for another day. Don't ever put shit in your gas tank. You're not going to fix a leak that way. You're only going to screw your carburetors up big time. Whatever, we tried to fix the leak. It didn't work out. But we chopped the fenders, did some other crap. It had a light bar on the front. We took that off, changed the handlebars. We actually changed the handlebars twice now because I had these drag bars on it. And those things were cool, man, but they hurt the heck out of my back. So I put these Mini 8s on it. I wanted to go a little bit taller with them, but then I'd have to change the cables out, and I'm a lazy cheap ass, and I don't want to do that. Bobbed the fenders, lowered it. I put these shocks on. These are actually shocks for like a Sportster or something, to lower it a couple inches because the fender gap was just way too much. It was ugly. Put the little light and license plate on it, and just whatever. We didn't really change it that much, to be honest with you. I really didn't put that much money into it. But the carburetor's got all kinds of crapped up, man, from trying to fix that leak in the gas tank. So I had to buy this gas tank. Thank God I found one finally on eBay used, because these things from Honda new are like crazy. Like worth more than this bike is worth. Or they want more than it's worth. Couldn't do that. Aftermarket tank can't really work because of this thing's got this crazy like diamond shaped pattern under here, and like your aftermarket tanks with the regular tunnel, man, these won't work. I guess they could, but way beyond my fabrication skills, so whatever. That's pretty much it, man. I don't know what else to say. I said a lot more in the other one. That's too long. Alright, back to the main video. Let's go ride.
And then we're going to go on a ride. Don't really know where I'm going to go. It's going to be a solo ride. I don't know. We're going to avoid highways. We'll just find some little back roads to ride on. Probably keep it pretty local, but we'll get out of the county. We'll probably go below the mountain. Alright, let's do it.
Pretty neat little place here. I pulled off. This monument says that it's the Mount Hermon Methodist Church, and I knew, that I was going towards Mount Hermon. Not that I know what the heck that is or where that is. Well, I mean, I know basically geographically where I'm at, but this says though, given by the students of Westfield Elementary School in memory of the victims of the Oklahoma bombing. So, well, I don't know. And it's tiny. The door is locked. Not that I would have gone in without permission, but look through the little window there, and I mean, mean, you can tell from the outside, but even looking in the window, I mean, it's just tiny in there. I can't imagine that much of a church congregation, but I guess in 1829, a tiny little community. I mean, like, well, you got just a couple of people, but pulled over for a drink of water, and I was gonna stop. I had a car kind of dogging me back there too, and I saw this, and I pulled off of that church up there, and I decided to come back over here because I wanted to get a closer look. So anyway, hope you're enjoying the ride so far.